Hello everybody, I wanted to come to you live today. It is Sunday, it is Easter Sunday, and I wanted to come in and share just a few of my thoughts today as I was personally studying and just taking time today, I suppose, to reflect and I suppose to really look at what I have in my life and give gratitude for it. Today is going to mean different things for all of you. Some of you will be celebrating, some of you are still indoors, some of us, everything has changed. This is a totally different Easter. And I suppose what I wanted to chat about today and just share some of my thoughts, some of my feelings on a day like today is to really reflect and ask ourselves, what is this weekend all about? What is Easter? Now, dependent on your background, depending on how you were brought up, you may have been brought up with the Easter story, the resurrection and the rising of Christ today, or that may be completely, you don't know anything about it. I really just want to share my thoughts. And for me and everything that I teach, I think it comes in very hand in hand, and especially the times that we're living in, on really what we've got to build on is our faith which is backed by understanding. And today the message that I have to you is that you have so much power within you. And the whole purpose of today, it doesn't matter what your background is, what your belief is, what religion you come from, when you study them all and you look at it all comes down to one thing, and that is rising up. That is becoming one with this higher power. And I am so full of gratitude today to have such a deep understanding of this. And it's I'm not saying I understand it better than anyone else, but I can certainly sit on a beautiful Sunday, an Easter Sunday, and really get to the meaning of it. Get to what does this mean for me? How can I use this moving forward? And if you do follow the Easter story, you will know the understanding of Christ dying on Friday and then rising again today. And the whole purpose of this conversation, what I wanted to share with you is, what do you maybe still need to die to? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to release? Because you can never rise again. You can never ascend and be greater and fuller of who you are until you have let go. Until you have understood that you've got to walk by faith and not by sight. You've got to let go in the faith of the knowing that more greatness is coming to you. And that was really what I was sitting just meditating about and studying about today. What does this mean to me? Even me as I sit here and speak to you, how can I rise up today? How can I learn to be a fuller expansion and expression of myself? What can I leave behind last week? And what can I focus on moving forward? And in everything that I've even taught you the last couple of weeks, the big key thing that I've pointed out in is that nothing lasts. Everything is seasons. Everything moves and changes. And it's the exact same for you right now. Maybe you've lost. Maybe you've lost family. Maybe you've lost a business. Maybe you've lost money. Maybe you've lost vision. And these are all material things. For me, I never feel lost because I have found who I am. And that might sound cheesy and it might seem, whatever. I don't care. And I don't care because I have such peace within. I have such understanding from within. And I really believe that every single person is in the search for this feeling of faith, this feeling of acceptance, this feeling of I can do this, and that there's always another new day. There's always a new way that we can start again, and we can be a bigger, bolder version of ourselves. So today, as you sit on Easter Sunday, sit and be so grateful for what you have. Just spend 5 or 10 minutes in your garden or in a room in your home and just be still, really quiet, and then look around you. Yes, the kids might be driving you nuts, but listen to them. This is the most precious day, I think. It's a beautiful day where we can just become one with ourselves and be so happy and grateful for what we have in the now. Yes, the world is in a difficult place. Yes, your situation has probably completely flipped on its head. And yes, it's uncertain times. But when you have faith and understanding, and you know that there's more within you, and I know that you can feel it, that's what you need to latch on. You need to let fear pass. You need to let fear go. But the easiest way to let fear go is by acknowledging that it's there. That is the key. You have got to release whatever negative thoughts you have about the situation, about yourself. That's probably the biggest one. What are you holding on about yourself that is no longer serving you? You have got to let go of all of that before you will ever be able to receive. And maybe there's still a part of you angry. Maybe there's still a part of you sad. Maybe there's still a part of you feeling lost. Don't feel bad in feeling it. Just acknowledge that you're feeling it. Because when you acknowledge it and you stop pushing it under the carpet and you stop blaming other people or outside circumstances and conditions, you can actually then start to take responsibility. It's your stuff. And then you can start to say, I can do this. This is a new day. I mean, that's what spring is about. That is what Easter is about. It's about rising up and starting anew. It's about having faith. It's about understanding that all the pain, all the suffering had to happen for you to get to this stage. That's the whole story from the Bible. And it's the story that is exactly the same today. We've got to die to our old selves. We've got to die to the old models in business. We've got to let all of that have its time, have its purpose, but realize that everything has seasons. Everything changes. And if you want to receive new, if you want to embrace the opportunities and bring new love and gratitude and opportunities into your life, you've got to make room for them. And the only way you can ever make room is by clearing out the old, letting it die, letting it pass. And then realizing that's over, that's done, that was last week. That's what Friday was all about. So as you move into this new week, this new season, this new version of you, it's nothing to be afraid of. Your past does not define you, but there is a promise that you have all the power within you. And you do have all the power within you. But you've got to learn how to tap into that power. And the biggest part of that learning curve is being able to let go, is being able to surrender to your faults, to your difficulties, but not get emotionally involved in them and define yourself by what has happened, but acknowledge what has happened and then decide how you want it to be. Like my saying from I have been a very small little girl has been walk by faith, not by sight. It doesn't say walk by other people's opinions. It says walk by faith. Now my true feeling around faith is that you can't have faith in you if you don't know you. And when you get to know you, and you get to understand that you are a part of all of this, we are all one, it dissipates loneliness, it destroys fear, it up-levels your ability to see opportunities, to serve, because that's what you're here for. It doesn't matter how you do it. You are here to serve. That is your greatest purpose on this planet, is to create. But sometimes we're so locked into the old that it limits what we can see for the future. So my only message to you today is to sit with a grateful heart, not a heavy heart, a grateful heart. Let go of what is not serving you. Let go of the problem that you think is in front of you. Because whilst I don't disagree that you have problems, you may be focusing too much on the problem that you're completely blind to the solution. And yet a problem and a solution are both omnipresent. They're here at the same time. You're just maybe not aware of that. I really hope that this message has spoken to somebody. It was very heavy on my heart today. I've been sitting studying for hours on end, and I just felt like I had to reach out and I had to share this with you. So wherever you are, wherever you're at in your life, your business, whatever, make a decision that this is the defining moment. This is the day that you're going to rise up, that you're going to ascend to the highest version of you. And you do have a higher version. And it's that little version of you that always tells you when you're doing something you know you shouldn't be doing. It's your conscience. And if you would just start to listen to that and have faith in it, it will guide you out through any adversity. It will guide you to the solution. It will guide you to the resources. It will guide you to the very people and things that you need. But only if you can trust in it. And you cannot lead and you cannot move forward in faith if you're still holding on to fear. So my message to you is that death is a powerful thing. It's a transition. And life is eternal. And it goes on and on and on. And you're always in journey mode, most of the time. I teach people how to achieve goals. And goals are very important, but my thing that I always teach people is the purpose of a goal is never to get. The purpose of a goal is to grow, is to expand, is to become more aware of how powerful you are and how powerful the universe, God, energy is. It's not about growing your ego. It's not about, trying to get more money in the bank. It's about how can you be a fuller version of yourself and express that in whatever way that you choose to express it. I express it through this. I express it through teaching. I express it through guiding people down this path of growth. You may not. You may, express it in selling insurance. You may express it in being a painter. You may express it in art. Nobody can tell you how to express it but you. People will tell you how to express it, but it's your choice. But it's only your choice if you realize it's your choice. And this is where it comes back to getting to know you, getting to understand that everything in your reality is coming from your conscious thought. It's becoming one with the reality that you desire. That's what the word righteousness even means. It's being consciously aware of your highest ability. You have a higher power within you. And it's the highest version of you. So as you go through this week, being the new version of you, and I challenge you to do that, all you have to ask is, what would my higher self do? In any situation, any question, it's the same thing I ask myself. It's the same thing I share with my team, with my clients. When they ask me advice, I go, well, I don't know what to do because I'm not you. But what I can get you to ask is, what would your higher self do? What would the highest version of you do in this situation? And that will give you more answers than what you think you have, because you think you're stuck. You think you don't know. But that's only because that's what you give more energy to. If you start asking, what would my higher version of me do? The version that in that vision that you have, the version where you've accepted your power, what would you do in that situation? And then my advice is, do it. Yes, you're afraid. Yes, you're scared. Yes, you can't prove it's going to work. Yes, blah, 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 blah. But what if it does? Like, what if? I keep sharing, and I will share this message. Faith and fear both ask you to believe in something you can't see. The invisible enemy is always here. At the moment, it's showing itself in a virus. But when the virus wasn't here, how was it showing up in your life? Was it showing up in not loving yourself, poor relationships, not really being on the right path? Maybe it's abuse of drugs, alcohol, relationships. I don't know how it's showing up for you, but I know it's showing up. And it doesn't have to. You can start to use it to learn how to go this way. Now, on this road, is everything rosy? No. Because we need fear. We need adversity. But my thing is, don't sit in it. Faith and fear both ask you to believe in something you can't see. So ask yourself today, what are you believing in? What is keeping you where you're at? Whether you're in a place that you're stuck or whether you're in a place that you're soaring. I ask these questions to myself every day. I ask my team these questions. I ask my clients these questions. Because if I'm asking myself, you need to be asking yourself. Walk by faith, not by sight. What can you do tomorrow? What can you do today? So, I hope that this has shared some message with you. I don't know who this is for, but it's for somebody. Maybe it's for me. I don't know. But I just felt very, very driven and pulled to come and speak to you all this morning. Normally I'm not this serious, but today I am. And it's for good reasons, because this is a time of new. This is a time of change. This is a time of renewal. This is a time of growth. This is a time of whatever you decide it's going to be the time. If you decide it's going to be the time that you sit back and wait, then you will wait. And you will wait. And you will wait. If you think this is the time to be scared and run away, then go. Do what you always do. But it's not going to help you. And you know that. And that, in my opinion, is more frightening and more scary and more lonely than facing what you need to face and go for it. Because what you don't realize is every single person that is even listening to this or who's going to listen to this is feeling probably the exact same. Why? Because we're all one. We are all one. We're just all different expressions of the one. So decide today that you're going to be the biggest expression of greatness, of joy, of peace, of happiness, of faith, of creation. You are the creator in your life. Like, you are the creator. Like, you get to do whatever you want with the energy that's flowing into your mind right now. Like, the energy is flowing into my mind right now, and words are coming out. Words are just an expression of a vibration. Vibration is the language of the universe, the language of God. It's love. It's a feeling. And I'm able to speak these words because I'm tapped into that power. I'm tapped into that. But I'm not any more special than you. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's what I say to everybody. Just make the time to connect. Connect to your source. Connect to the only source of everything, of money, of love, of opportunities. Everything is connected back to the real source. And it's never limited. So my message to you as you go through into this next week is, do not look on the visible supply. Look on the unlimited riches. There is so much out there for you. But as I said, you must be willing to die to the old and rise up and awaken to the new. I no doubt in my mind that, it's Easter. The Easter story is about uprising. The world is changing. I mean, really ask yourself. Maybe you've heard me say these things before and it's sometimes touched your heart and then other times it hasn't. You can't ignore this anymore. It is right here, right now, right in front of you. And it's nothing to be afraid of. It is to be embraced. Because if you do feel scared, if you do feel alone, if you do feel worried, that's just a feeling. That's just energy. So just decide, this ball of energy that I'm calling fear, that I'm calling worry, it isn't any of those things. It's just energy. It just is. So I'm going to decide to make this faith. I'm going to decide to make this power. I'm going to decide to make this excitement. I mean, I have no idea what is going to happen, but I know if I walk this way, I will be shown. And you will be shown. It could be through somebody else. It could be through me. It could be through my post. It could be from a dream. It could be from anywhere. But you will be shown. And that's why it's called faith. So, take this with you today. Watch this a few times. Share it with people. This is now the time to waken up. There's no doubt in my mind. I feel emotional about it. I feel like goosebumps about it because I know that I'm going to waken up. I know I'm going to think bigger and wilder and be a bigger version of me, because I'm no different to you. I am just starting out on this incredible journey, and we're all on the journey, whether you like it or not. So just assess, and you assess by looking at your results. How's your journey going? And if you don't like what you see, then you got to make a change. It's all choice. All choice. But in order to make that choice, you got to understand how to use the tools in which you've been given. You've been given the greatest gift, and it is also invisible, but it's there just as much as everything else. So enjoy your Sunday with your family, with your friends. I urge you to take the time. If you've never done gratitude, make today the day that you do gratitude. And in fact, I want you to do something else for me. I want you to go away, put earphones in, listen to soft music, write yourself a letter. And if you believe in God, I want you to write it as if God is speaking to you. If you believe and you don't believe in God and you just believe in energy, then I want you to write it from the energy. Okay? If you don't believe in any of that, then just write it to yourself. But what I want you to write in this letter is forgiveness to yourself for what has passed, for what has been. And this is not an easy exercise, but it's a very powerful exercise. Normally I wouldn't tell people to do this on a Facebook Live, but I feel like you need to do this. So I want you to go away today at some point, 10-15 minutes, just listen to some soft music and get out a pen and paper, and don't force it. Don't try and, God's telling me this. No, you can't play that game. It doesn't work like that. I just want you to sit down and be totally vulnerable and surrender to your own thoughts. Nobody's going to look at this. I'm not want to know anything about it. You can certainly tell me, but nobody's going to see it but you. And I want you to write out and forgive yourself for everything. But I want you to write it as if the universe or God is talking to you. So if I was doing it, it would be Kim. Kim, you are, or Kim, blah, blah, blah. So you're writing it from the universe or from God to you, and you are letting go and forgiving yourself, releasing yourself for everything. All the pain that somebody has caused you, let it go. All the hurt, all the whatever it is, you might have been holding on to this for years. But ask yourself, is that person hurting today as you're hurting? Probably not. So the only person that's affecting is you. Or maybe it's this current situation. Well, this current situation can only control you if you allow it to control you. So you've got to decide right now, as you're sitting listening to this, do you want it to control you, or do you want to control the only thing that you can control, which is your attitude, your thoughts? This is another season, it will pass. And there'll be another one and another one. So my thought on it all is, I want to learn the lesson as soon as possible. So write that letter to you. Forgive yourself. Then, before you end it, I want you to go to the second part, which is the most important part. And that is the rising up. The renewing of you. the renewing of your mind. That's how you really become one with universe, with God, with yourself, because it all lives in you. And you know it because you wouldn't be listening to me and this wouldn't be pulling at you if it wasn't true. So I'm not making something up. You can deny it, you can be ignorant to it, you can go, this is a load of rubbish, what is she talking about? Is she preaching? I mean, the best thing is, I don't care what you think. And that never was me. I used to care what everybody thought, but I don't anymore because that doesn't serve me, it doesn't make me happy, it doesn't put food on my table, it doesn't help the people I love. So I think the same should go for you. So once you've written out the forgiveness element, and I'm talking about letting go. So once you've written this out, that's it. Then I want you to write out on a separate piece of paper the new version of you, the higher version of you. How does she feel? How does he think? What is he like? What is she like? Write about yourself. But remember, you're not writing from you, you're writing from God or the universe. And we all know that would never say anything negative about you. So this has to be a powerful statement, a powerful exercise. Name it and claim it. Demand of yourself that the next week, the next month, this next phase of your life is going to be new. It's going to be better. It's going to be richer. It's going to be healthier. It's going to be happier. It's going to be filled with love. It's going to be filled with purpose. You're going to walk by faith, not by sight. You're going to have problems, but you're going to know how to get around them. You keep your eye on the objective, not the obstacle. And if you write that out and you name it and claim it for yourself, you will have done a very powerful exercise. You will have released and then you will receive. And you've got to do that. And I would advise you to burn the other letter, the one from the past. Rip it up, let it go. Make today the day that you rise up and ascend to the greatest version of you. That's what I want for you this Easter. Easter eggs are good too, but please make sure you do this exercise.